you and I are registered for the Queen City Marathon, which starts at the Connexus Arts Center. The race site opens at 6:30 on Sunday morning, and the marathon starts at 8.
If the marathon is from my couch to the fridge, I'm in. But if it's any further than that, I'm out.
Let's bring in voice of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, Dave Thomas, on the Western Pizza guest hotline. So we're 0 for 2 as far as marathon runners go. Dave, are you going to go 0 for 3? Have you ever run a marathon before in your life? Because my wife has run 3. She's the athlete in the family, not me.
That's not a surprise. But I guess
hey, come on. Hey.
No, I've never run a marathon. I've never wanted to run a marathon. I lived in Saskatoon for a lot of years, and I remember our neighbor used to go down for runs along the river on weekends, and I'm like, you ran how far? And really? Who was chasing you? So that's my experience in running.
All right. But hi to everybody that's getting ready for the marathon this week. We fully support you from afar. I am 100%. I've been the guy at the finish line. And if you ever have been to a marathon finish line before, they have great food. They have a selection of anything and everything pretty much because you've just run 26.2 miles. You need to replenish the body. Just drift in there like you own it and then go from there. Hey, how's Winnipeg? No internet there? Is that why we're on the phone? Sharky wants to know, are you on a payphone in a hotel hallway?
No, I'm not. I'm just having a couple of issues with the Windows update, but we'll be fine. But it's breezy, it's sunny, it's feeling like fall here in Winnipeg.
Super Dave, quick question for you.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Church.
Super Dave, when you and I were back on the in studio a couple of weeks ago, we talked about the defense and being bullies and playing like we're going to knock some people around. I thought they did that against Winnipeg, especially with 5 quarterback sacks. The defense has to be really happy with what they did against the Bombers in the last game.
Absolutely, and the key is that they did it on first down. If you go and dive into the numbers, again, Luke Mullender talks a lot about first down defense, right? Make the defense have to play second and long, not second and medium. And you think that goes without saying, but you look at it with the Saskatchewan Roughriders last week, and there were 21 total times where the Winnipeg Blue Bombers faced the second down in that ball game, and 14 of those 21 times were 7+ yards. And a lot of that was just because the defensive line was able to bully their way past the Winnipeg offensive line, so much so that Winnipeg had to abandon their rushing game 5 runs in for Brady Oliveira, the reigning MOP. So Winnipeg had to make an adjustment and start throwing the ball to him, which took them off their run game. And like you said, I'm with you, Sharky. The defensive line came out, bullied their way against the offensive line for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, where we're going to see a couple of changes, as a matter of fact, for the Blue Bombers this week. So that was where they went ahead and they exuded their will, if you will, and made a huge difference in the Labor Day Classic.
Depth charts came out. Mitch Picton is in. Jackson Ford, the starting safety from last week, is out. Did we miss something there, or what's with him hitting the one-game injured list?
Yeah, it was a bit of a surprise as he showed up on the injured list with a bit of a knee tweak. So for the 3rd week in a row, really, the Saskatchewan Roughriders will have a different starting safety as Jackson Ford is going to roll into that spot. I guess you could say 3 out of 4 as Jackson did get the start last minute in Calgary. But I know it's a tough one for him because the young man has just battled through all kinds of injuries the last 2 years, and he was getting his opportunity to start with Nelson Lacombo still in that walking boot. But unfortunately, he was ruled out. He didn't make the trip even to Winnipeg. So Kosi Onyeka, 4-year pro at Guelph, is going to get the start at safety, and it's going to be an interesting one, right? You've been in the league for 4 years, and you get your opportunity to make a start. We'll see what he's able to do with it.
Dave, this is more of a statistical question. I don't know if you can answer it. The Onyeka family has multiple members in the CFL. Is it 3, 4? Is there 5 of them? Because that's got to be one of the most prolific families in the past decade that putting players into this league.
Last count, it was at 4. And don't ask me to name names alphabetically or anything, but 4 Onyekas at one point in the Canadian Football League.
Question for you, roster-wise, Dave. Are the Riders expecting any other changes beyond Jackson Ford?
No, Jackson Ford is the primary one on defense. Offensively, I would expect that we'll see Joe a little bit more active. He's listed ahead of Del Duncan Busby this time around. So the starting receiving core will be Robustelli, Keyshawn Johnson, and Dante Myers, along with Tommy Neal, who will draw in. Joe is going to get some more reps. And I think that you like that look right now if you're the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
I don't
what
think
an
any
ad.
Rider
What an
fan.
ad.
Yeah. And I don't think any Rider fan would have thought going into the game, hey, are you willing to bet on DraftKings, FanDuel, whatever, the Riders are going to hold Brady Oliveira to under 25 yards? Well, I don't know if that could happen 2 weeks in a row. If it does, that's awesome. Do you think, Dave, if they can't get the run game going early, that because they're going to force him into the offense, they're going to go to the screen game and the short pass just to get him involved more in the offense with the home crowd?
I think that's what they did last week, was right. They tried to swing him out. They tried to do a pitch play at one point to try to get him outside the tackle and see if he couldn't move there. But if I was to analyze it, I would suggest that I think Winnipeg is going to enter this game talking about making sure that they are more patient offensively, because they really moved away from the run game really, really quick. Like I say, 5 carries for Brady Oliveira. That wasn't on my bingo card at all. So the way that I looked at it, I think that the Bombers are going to approach this week, and especially if they get a lead early like they did last week with the 10 points that they put up early, I can see them being more patient and making sure they get the run game and not deviating to those short passes and the plays that the Riders were just swarming last week.
Dalton Schoen is out of the lineup. He's been put back on the 6th game, and we found out earlier today he played last week on a torn ACL. He tore it in Calgary the week before. That's a big blow to the Bomber offense, and it's the same knee that he already had repaired and coming back. We had Andrew Patterson on in hour number 1, and he talked about it. And the guy is a warrior. That's a big piece of their offense to replace. Ontario Wilson is coming back in the lineup. Now, he just had a look at NFL training camp. He's a totally different body type. But when Wilson was doing good things for the Bombers, what did you like about him? Or why was he dangerous for that Bomber offense?
Well, if I go back for 1 second to Dalton Schoen, and the one word that was expressed to me when I asked about him a little bit, and the biggest asset that he had for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers offense, the one word was trust. Zach Collaros trusted him to run the right route, to make the same read as him, and to be in the same spot as he needed to be. Ontario Wilson, he's got more speed. He's a little more athletic. He's got, you can't coach height. He's got that on Dalton Schoen as well. What does he bring back into the Winnipeg Blue Bombers offense immediately? I'm not sure. But just like a Joe, he's going to inject a little bit of positivity and a lot of energy. So it'll be interesting to see what he can contribute tomorrow.
What do you expect from the Rider offense? We talked a little bit about defense and how they were bullies, but what do you expect from the Rider offense after last week where we saw the 1-2 team in the backfield with Ouellette?
Well, I would expect more of the same. And A.J. Ouellette told me this week that what they're doing is rugged running, right? And so he takes great pride in, yes, going ahead and running for 3 yards, but then extending those 3 yards to 5 to 7 to 9. And I would expect that we'll see a lot more of that when it comes to the patience and with making sure that everything rolls through the backfield first, because even though he didn't get 100 yards, he definitely allowed that Rider offense to set up the pass game by him running the football.
Without a doubt.
Trevor Harris,
both running backs came a lot. Yeah.
The Bombers didn't get a ton of pressure on Trevor Harris. Well, when I say that, compared to the Calgary game the week before, it seemed that the Riders were able to correct whatever it was from the Calgary game into the Winnipeg game. You saw Trevor at times get hot. Is he good enough now, Dave, at his age, if the rhythm isn't there early, that he can get rhythm going later, as opposed to some quarterbacks, if they don't have it in the first quarter, they're not going to have it all game? Because the Trevor Harris switch, flip, like we like to think it can, magically when we need him?
Well, and I'm not so sure that it's a switch that flips. It's just, I think Trevor's got the veteran savvy to understand and recognize remarkably quick as to what he's seeing. So if the defense is presenting a different option or something different up front, he's able to make those adjustments in consultation with Mark Mueller, and the two have such a solid relationship that they can then relay and communicate what they've seen or are seeing and make the appropriate adjustments. So even though there's an adjustment made before the game, there's adjustments made in and during the game. The one thing that when it comes to the pressure on the quarterback, I really think that Winnipeg, more than they admitted, missed Reddick Cramdy last week, and he comes back into the lineup this week. And no, he's not going to be a pass-rushing threat. I'm well aware of that. But what he does do is he provides some stability on the back end of that defense, a flowing person that can get to the ball and make plays when counted on. So I really think Winnipeg missed that, and maybe they had some guys trying to compensate for that, which affected their pass rush. But Cramby, like I say, will be back in the lineup here tomorrow, pardon me.
What's the forecast supposed to be tomorrow?
Yeah.
Sunny and warm with very little wind.
Ooh, love it. Love it.
Nice. Dave, do you know, in preparing for the show today, it was, now you're a guy that likes to track what he wears at football games. So on September 8th in 2018, I don't know what you were wearing, but it's been 2,554 days since the Riders won in Winnipeg. Tell me you got the killer suit picked out. It's the Streak Buster shoes, socks, pant, belt, shirt, lapel combo. How are we going to break this streak?
Well, I'll be completely honest with you. From year one last year, there were two outfits that were completely undefeated and through the regular season.
Whoa.
The one outfit I wore in the West Final, and we know how that went. So I've been very reluctant. I've been very reluctant to break out and into the other one on the road, but I can tell you with some certainty that it'll be green tie tomorrow with the white shirt, the black base. So there you have it.
Very classic look. Very classic, Dave. I love it.
And then if we win, and then we can call it the Streak Buster. Then we put it on sale. We get a little mini site going, a little Shopify action or whatever, and we can just start banging these things out. So everybody's dressing like that for the next game we play in Winnipeg, and then for the West Final, which is going to be at Mosaic Stadium. Everybody dressing like Dave Thomas. Wheel it in. Forget your jersey that day. Put that jersey away. It's dressed like Dave Thomas Day at Mosaic Stadium. All right. What dinner plans for tonight?
Sorry, I missed that.
Dinner plans for tonight? You doing something exotic in Winnipeg? Where's a hot spot to go if you're in enemy territory but you're starving? What's on the agenda?
Well, I tried to order a Western pizza. That didn't work. So I'll have to get back to you on that.
What's Barney's favorite place for ribs there? Silver Heights? Isn't that Barney's spot that he always talked about to go for ribs? Silver Heights?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm sure
I'll
it's Silver
check that
Heights.
out.
Yeah, Barney has a favorite there for ribs, and he talks about it all the time in Winnipeg. So maybe you have to bring a review back and maybe a little more honest than Barney's review.
I can do that for sure, and I'm not afraid to sample, I'll tell you that.
All right, that's Voice of the Riders, Dave Thomas.